This is auxiliary too.
So which one? Well, welcome and good evening. We have three different groups with us tonight. We have the American Legion Auxiliary, the Backstoppers, and our Art Guild president, who's going to give us a little art information. So whichever one of you guys want to start.
Okay.
Carolyn, you want to?
A for art, I'll start first.
All right, and introduce yourself and tell the people all about yourself as much as you want.
Okay. Thanks, Iris. Iris and I belong to the St. Genevieve Art Guild. I am the president this year, the first year. And we have quite a bit going on in September, which is the reason I wanted to come here and talk about it. Right now, the first thing that's going on is a really neat exhibit. Got a little brochure here if he wants to focus in on that. As most of you know, we had an art colony going on in here in the 1930s, and a bunch of artists came down from St. Louis. It was a pretty important event for the art community. It kind of got everything going. It's sort of the legacy that we look back on. And the founder, the guy who came down here and got all excited about St. Genevieve, is a fellow named Bernard Peters. And up until this year at this exhibit, we didn't know what he looked like. He was sort of a mystery man. He didn't like to have his picture taken. Lucky for us, our former president, Juanita Wyman, was contacted through a roundabout means from a relative of Bernard Peters, who had paintings that none of us had ever seen. They were given to the family. So it was a unique opportunity for us to get these paintings on loan. And so they're on loan here from the West Coast, and they have to go back to the West Coast on the 25th. So it's a limited time for people to see these beautiful paintings. That's one on the front cover. He does beautiful stuff. Some of the artists did a little bit avant-garde. He did gorgeous. He just picked a countryside scene and just put all the colors there that you don't even see with your eye. It's a real way of seeing. And he would do that in plein air sometimes, plein air being painting outside. And so we're kind of excited about that exhibit because it was something that was kind of unexpected. It gives us a chance to honor our legacy, because part of our mission with the Art Guild is to get people to understand about fine art, to have the public know about fine art. And this is definitely fine art. There's 20 pieces in the exhibit. The exhibit is at the Shaw House. Now the Shaw is the other half of the Felix Valley House, and it's the former Matt Ziegler residence.
And everybody calls it Mammy Shaw.
And everybody calls it Mammy Shaw, that's right. So it's at the Shaw House, it's free, open to the public, anytime they're open, which is 10 to 4 during the week and noon to 4 on Sunday. And so it's kind of a great opportunity to catch some really good art and get a look at these paintings that probably won't be back. And so, yeah, it's a really, really good thing. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was interesting in the interview the other night. I listened to it online, where they said that he gave a lot of his paintings away.
Yeah.
And they were stolen
from his house in St. Louis.
House in St. Louis, a bunch of them.
Yeah, he didn't live in the greatest neighborhood because he
saved
his money.
It was on Oakland Avenue, isn't that what they
Compton.
said? Oh, yeah. Compton Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, well, of course, this was back in the 30s, you know.
Yeah.
But he kind of saved his money because he ended up with a house in St. Mary, which is now the White Cliff Manor B&B. So that was a nice house, three-story house, and he not only used it as a studio every summer, he taught school, so he had summers off. He was down here longer than any of the other colony people. He stayed here from 1932 to 1943. And all the rest of them with the war and everything had moved on. But he kind of kept everything going. He was good friends with Matt Ziegler, and the two of them kind of kept the colony spirit alive. And it's kind of a neat thing. Matt in particular kind of inspired other people, including Charles Reinhardt and some other people. Charles inspired other artists here, and some of those artists founded our Art Guild.
Right.
And so it's kind of a long line of artists that have started all with the colony, even though there were a few artists here before then. That was kind of a critical mass that really got it going. And
Matt really never got the recognition he deserved.
Oh my gosh, no.
That man was so talented. He could do sculpture, painting. In fact, one of the angels in the Catholic Church was done under his supervision by two young people here in the parish. Anna Kirchner and, who was the guy?
Barney Evans?
No, it was
No?
a young kid.
Oh, don't know, sorry.
I can't remember his name. But anyway, Anna and him were working in that angel. The first one they didn't pass, but the second one. So if you look at the angels, you'll be able to pick out which one, because it's not as, I don't think it's as
Finely,
finely
yeah.
detailed as the rest of them. But it's,
Yeah.
you know, if you just look at them, you can't tell it.
Yeah.
And then we were in St. Louis picking up paintings one time, Anna and I, from Swag, Amy, her son, and he had Matt's chandelier design thing hanging on his wall up there, and several other pieces that Matt had done of sculptures. So Matt was really an all-around artist, yeah. So go ahead, Carolyn, I'm sorry.
No, I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree more. We're actually planning an exhibit honoring Matt Ziegler as a permanent thing in that gallery that he had as part of the Shaw.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And so I'm putting that together as part of the art history thing that we're doing later this year.
Oh, that would be great.
So, yeah, I totally agree with what you said.
So they
Matt.
got a furnace and everything in that room? In that room?
They've got some air conditioning and stuff going on there, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
good. That's
So,
great.
yeah, no, it's really good, because he really is the one that kept the spirit alive
Exactly.
all those years. And he's the reason that Bernard Peters found a place to be. This was a conversation that, what happened is they used to have art colonies overseas, then in New England, and 1932 came and it was getting hard to travel, Depression era. The whole idea was paint where you are, find the beauty in your own backyard. And it was called regionalism or American scene painting, whatever. Bernard Peters was the one who got the fire to come down here. And he said, oh gosh, if I could just find a place to rent. And Matt Ziegler overheard him. And the Shaw House was owned by Matt's aunts, the Vogt sisters. And he rented it to Bernard Peters. Bernard ran back to St. Louis, brought all his friends down, and boom, we had Colony. So Matt was, he was in there in the very beginning. He became a part of the Colony. He actually taught at the Colony. He got so good. And then he kept it going after. So plug for Matt Ziegler.
Exactly.
Really a good guy. Anyway, yeah, in line with that, we're also doing our plein air. Plein air is painting outside. This is a person who's painting outside, just to give you a visual. It happens to be my backside instead of my front side.
Too big hat.
But painting outside was part of the tradition in the Colony, and so it's part of what we try to keep alive, is the idea of painting outdoors. Actually, the lady at the head of the table is responsible for starting our plein air in
No,
St. Genevieve.
totally.
Well,
There was 5 of us. too.
okay, so you're the one who's kept at it the longest, though. So we've had this is our 13th year for the plein air, and it's something that brings in artists from around the region. And there's money that's raised through private donations and a few grants, and it all comes together and makes a really, really neat event, because it is artists that wouldn't be here normally and come, and we learn from them. There's a camaraderie and a production of some really gorgeous art. So not only do we have the beautiful art that's on display at the Shaw House, but if people want to come see the results of this contest, it is really, really worth a visit. We will be at the Creole House, which is the other part of the State Historic Site. You go out towards St. Mary on St. Mary Road. If you pass the Emerald before you get to the Bequette Ribot, make a right turn and you're at the Creole House. The Creole House will be open on Friday night, on Saturday night, which is the 23rd, from 6 to 9. We'll be having a reception, so a little bit of free food and snack for anyone that wants to come. And you can vote for your favorite painting. That's the fun part. You can come and all these paintings will get judged by some professionals, but then it's always good to have them judged by the people that walk in, because everybody has an idea of what makes a really good painting and what they like. And whoever wins the most votes actually gets a $200 prize. So that's kind of cool too. And it's fun to see what is there and to just meet some of the artists and see what has been created just that week, because it starts on the 20th, which is next Wednesday. So the artists will start arriving. You may see them in the streets painting. You may see them around the countryside painting. And they'll be producing art that is amazing to me because, as you can see, I tried it. And I had to repaint what I did when I got home because it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yes, it is.
A lot of these people are really professionals that have done this and can just knock something out in no time at all that looks really, really terrific. So it's kind of exciting for us. One more thing that we're doing that weekend is we're setting up a new exhibit amongst us Art Guild people that we're calling it One Subject, Two Views. And we're doing it for a few reasons. One, it's a way to work together. So it's one particular thing, say it's that particular view. Two of you painted, it's not going to look alike. And they did this in the colony quite often as part of a class. You would all paint the same thing, and then you would look at it, and it would all be a little different. We did this as kind of an exercise in camaraderie and also to see what would come of it. But that will be hanging at our exhibit at the St. Genevieve Winery. And that's the winery on Merchant Street. And that particular place has become sort of our gallery for the time being. They're very generous. They've allowed us hanging space inside their rooms. And that will be going on starting on the fourth Friday. The Fourth Friday Art Walk is put on by the Downtown Renewal Project. And so there's a lot of stores open, there's a lot of other galleries open. It's a really nice evening out, but that particular exhibit will be opening then. And we'll also have, a small reception there and a Meet the Artist. I think Dave Carter is our featured artist that time.
He does wonderful.
He does really pretty
He
stuff.
can do animals, abstract trees that you wouldn't know it was a tree until you get there and look at the roots and whatever. I mean, he's just, and leaves, I mean, he's just amazing. He's out of St. Louis, moved down to Cape Girardeau, and he just produces the most beautiful work.
So there's a lot of pretty art to look at. Friday at the Art Walk, Saturday at the plein air reception, and anytime between now and then at the Shaw House. Go in and see the Bernard Peters exhibit. We put a lot into it. It's well worth your time. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Carolyn. Also, on the plein air, if you go down there and you see an artist that you really like, a lot of them have websites, so remember their name and just Google it, and it'll take you to their websites. And some of their paintings are just outstanding. It's nice to even just go look at them. It's on their
that's
website.
a big thing. I just go look, and it's eye candy, really.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And you can bring your pocketbook if you want and purchase one. Come on. Okay, well, thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
And you're welcome to
Appreciate
stay if you want,
Okay.
or you can bounce out, whichever. Okay, who's next? Who wants to talk next?
Well, I think they can go ahead with the wall-to-wall because I think that is coming up pretty soon.
Okay, so first
Yes.
off, introduce yourselves, and then you could start.
Joyce Winters and
Kenny, please.
Kenny Fleegan. We are members of the American Legion Riders, the Legion motorcycle group. And we're here to talk about the bike and badge ride, which is to benefit the backstoppers. But first we want to talk about the wall-to-wall motorcycle flag escort.
Which is coming up this Saturday. On September 12th, yesterday, there was a flag lowered, a POW and an American flag, lowered at Washington, D.C. And
That is flown over the Vietnam Wall.
been flown over the Vietnam
Washington,
Wall
D.C.
there. There's the exact replica of the Vietnam Wall in Washington, D.C. It's going to be built down in Perryville. It's being built right now. And they're transporting a flag that's flown over the wall in Washington, D.C. on the back of a motorcycle.
Oh,
And
really?
our several volunteers from Legion Riders have gone up to escort this flag back. And they're stopping at various cities along the way.
It's en route now.
It's en route now, and it's going to go for over 800 miles to get here. So, and Saturday or Friday evening, they're going to be at the Arnold complex up there. And then Saturday morning, they will, at 8:30, be kick stands up and coming down the Interstate 55. So you can imagine somewhere around 5,000 motorcycles coming down 55.
Oh, that's
It's
going to be
pretty
so
impressive
awesome. Yeah.
to escort that flag down to Perryville. And on the overpasses here in St. Genevieve, we're going to honor our fallen heroes. And at the Y Road, it's going to be Terry Monia. At Zell Road, it's going to be Gregory Meyer. And then the Highway 32 exit, Frederick Shue. Eisenbeiss Bottom Road is Warren Sewell. And Route M, which is Ozora exit, Larry Tomier. And then the Z Road in St. Mary's was John Livingston. We'll have a banner hanging over the overpass on those. And the families are invited, and fire departments in the area, and actually the whole public is invited to honor and watch the procession going down to the escort going down to Perryville. It's going to be quite impressive. It's an exact replica. It's going to be a sister wall of the one just like in Washington, D.C. So it's, I'm going to be there. I'm going to ride in it. This is going to be over the overpass at
I'll be with Terry Monia's
Terry
family
Monia's
on,
family.
at Bloomsdale. After the ride, the families are coming back to the Legion for a reception, and we are inviting anybody that would like to come in to visit with the families and, you know, just show support, and we'll take pictures and so on and so forth. And for anybody wanting more information on this, they can visit americaswall.com. They can see the flag in real time where they're at coming across the United States. Or they can schedule a ride, or they can,
Yeah, if they want to ride in it, all they have to meet up there is around 6:30, so you can stage them. But they will be leaving up there at 8:30. Kickstands up at 8:30 and be coming down 55. So anywhere along 55 all the way down to M Road, down in Perry County, or 51, I'm sorry, down in Perry County. And they're going to come in on M Road, and the new bypass, they're on 51.
from 61 to 51.
From 61 to 51. It'll be AC, so it'll be all the way down 55 to 51, 51 exit to AC. And that's where the new memorial is going to be erected.
And then they'll have a flag raising ceremony there at 11 o'clock Saturday morning. It's going to be quite an impressive
It will.
event.
So if anybody wants to go down, they're going to let people park in the TG parking lot, and they'll bus them over with a bus. But the motorcycles will be lining up on the AC. The whole AC road will be blocked off for the motorcycles. Because they're estimating 5,000, there could be more.
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
It's going to be so noisy.
It's going to be rolling thunder coming
Rolling
down
thunder,
55.
that's
really
Yes,
cool.
it is.
But it's going to be a real honor for the veterans, not just Vietnam, but all the veterans. It's going to be a real honor to have a wall this close.
Now, all the boys you named, were they all the Vietnam?
Vietnam.
They were all Vietnam
ones? You know.
KIAs,
St. John County
killed in
Sons.
action.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The families, when they were approached, were quite emotional.
I would
Quite,
imagine.
and all just, you know, just the thought that this was going to be done in honor of their family
The
member.
Legion Riders had banners made up where you could hang it over the side. Then we invited all the families and designated these overpasses for each family.
And there'll be organizations and fire departments and whoever wants to be on the overpasses with the families, welcome to be there. And then,
That's a great thing.
it is,
Yeah.
it is.
The next thing is a bike and badge ride. It's the 13th annual Dave Mungenast Senior Memorial Bike and Badge Ride in support of the Backstoppers. This is going to be Sunday, September the 24th. And the ride is from Mungenast Motorsports to St. Genevieve American Legion Hall. And like I said, it's the 13th annual. This is the fourth one that American Legion has sponsored.
The third year, I think
Third
we
year
have
the
them,
American
yeah.
Legion sponsored. If anybody wants to ride in that, they're asked for a $25 donation. You just have to go up to Mungenast Motorsports, which is on Lindbergh, and you can join in that ride coming down too. They enter the ride, and the activities will start at noon here in St. Genevieve at American Legion. Everybody is more than welcome to come to the post and
The
then join in.
The registration is 9 to 11 at Mungenast if they want to ride down. And then when they get to St. John, we will have pulled pork and brats plates for anybody that wants to buy for the people of the ride. All the money goes to Backstoppers.
All the proceeds go back to the Backstoppers.
And if they want to check more on this, it's www.bikeandbadge.org. We're also doing a roadblock on the Saturday from 9 to 12 or 9 to 1 that will, you know, collect money for Backstoppers. There are booths out. There's one at the Anvil, one at Cozy Kitchen, one at Casey's, and some other places for donations for Backstoppers. So if you see any of those, please drop in a buck or two. It'd be appreciated.
And all those little bucks add up.
They do
They
add
do.
up, yes, they
They
do.
definitely do.
They do, and Backstoppers is, well, everybody's in need right now with everything going on.
Isn't that the
but-
truth? Oh, my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah.
Now, are they going to be at the Memorial Cemetery, Jefferson Barracks? I mean, are they going to, where is it going to start up there?
The wall-to-wall you're talking? That is starting in Arnold Commons,
Oh, the
in
Commons,
front of the
okay.
Lowe's. I
Where
mean,
the
they
Lowe's
needed
is
a
out
place
there.
for
Right.
all
They
these.
need a big enough parking lot, so they put
Okay,
Arnold.
that's why I was trying to figure out if they started there, where would they just have to
Arnold
line up on
Commons.
all the roads?
And I guess that's why it's early, too, to
Yeah.
get
Mhm.
people moving in down 55. It's pretty well going to shut down 55,
Oh, it
southbound
will,
55.
with that
I'm
many.
thinking.
Yeah, we don't really,
Yes.
it's going to be a police escort all the way down. So we really don't know if they're going to shut down both lanes. We need one lane open or what they're going to do, but it's going to be a lot of motorcycles roaring down through 55.
Yeah. And hopefully people
Saturday
will be
morning.
careful.
Right.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. And the bike and badge ride, the Backstoppers, is going to be at Munganess on Lindbergh
Right.
on the 24th. Yeah, two separate things, but,
I think
Yeah,
that's so
good thing.
neat when there's a big line of motorcycles
Yeah, it's
going down the
fun.
highway. It
It's fun.
sounds so cool.
yeah, and the Backstoppers just standing at the Legion, watching them come in. We used to, when we weren't involved in this, we'd sit out in his driveway and see them all coming down the highway. It is quite
And
impressive.
now being at the Legion, seeing them all come around and pull into the parking lot.
That's good, too.
It's good view, good view.
And I saw them last year and the parking lot was full
It is
of
full.
motorcycles.
Yeah, I think we had we
It was
even had to
great.
block off Park Drive and park them up in the road, too. So it is great. Weather permitting, it'll be great. Yeah.
But it's rain or shine.
And we hope Irma and Harvey and all them other guys stay away, or girls or
Yeah.
whoever.
Hope Jose stays out
Jose.
there, too.
Yeah,
Pedro,
is he still
whoever they
going?
are.
He's still just doing circles.
Oh, okay. Somebody asked me today and I said, I don't know, I never hear
Yeah,
anything
they're
about
not
him.
expecting too much from him
Yeah.
at this point.
Hopefully he stays though.
Right. But that's, I think that's all we have.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
that.
Thank you.
letting
Anytime
us
you want
come
to come
here.
back, any of you, you're
Mhm.
sure welcome.
Okay.
Okay, now we have Donna, and I'm sorry,
I'm Rosalie Buat.
Rosalie Buat. I know, I totally forgot your name. So you can tell a little bit about yourselves, and then you can tell what you're here for.
Okay. I'm Donna Fleeg. I'm president of the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 150 in St. Genevieve. And Rosalie is my treasurer secretary. And this fall, like every fall, we are very busy. September and October and even up into November. The Legion is the auxiliary, I mean, it's go, go, go. What we have coming up is, of course, we're going to be on the walls. I was a personal friend of the Myers, of Greg Myers' family, and I will be there. And I'm hoping we get a few more of our ladies to join me. Are you going to be able to?
I'm going to be in the Bloomsdale area. There's 2 more overpasses north of Y Road that need coverage, and
Yeah,
Kinsey Fire Department is going to take care of
Kinsey is on
double.
double D.
And then Karen Road also, so we're going to have to split, you know.
Yeah,
and
I don't know if much is going
I
to be.
will be
on-
at one of those 3 overpasses.
Okay.
We had 8 overpasses, but only 6, so.
Right.
Fortunately, only 6.
Also on October the 20, well, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. In September, well, no, in September we don't really do a whole lot. In October is going to be our really busy month because we visit Camp Hope on the 23rd of October. This is a brochure from Camp Hope. For you people that don't know about Camp Hope, it is a camp out in St. Francis County. It's for our veterans that have served since 9/11. It's for our disabled veterans, and it was purchased by a family who lost a son and who is military. And it's basically run by volunteers, and they hunt. They have hunting out there, fishing, they do archery, and of course it's during the hunting season, you know, but they can fish anytime, but they have a lot of volunteers that come in and help this disabled veterans. So this has been our project for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What we raise, our money from our poppies, we donate to that.
A big chunk of that.
A big chunk, yeah. And we've gotten involved with it, and I have found out that the person that is actually their treasurer or does their taxes or whatever is a very personal friend of mine from out in the Lead Belt. So that makes it a little bit more personal for me, because I've known this person for like 30 years. Yeah, there is the.
Now, is that the one that?
That is
Houston
Chris.
Meyer? Is he one of the Houston? Is he still working with them?
Who?
Houston Meyer.
I don't.
I don't know.
We don't-
It's possible.
That's the
possible.
same. That's the
Oh.
same thing, isn't it?
HopeOutdoors.org. This is seriously
Hope
Arkansas.
Outdoors is a little different
Oh,
than
that's the
Camp Hope.
different.
Yes.
Yeah,
program.
this
Okay.
is for the veterans.
Okay,
Yeah,
and they just do the disabled.
They
Yes.
just do all disabled. That's
Okay.
in,
Yeah.
that's in Searcy, Arkansas.
Mhm.
Or this is out in the Lead Belt.
But
In
this is a
Farmington.
picture of Chris White. He is the Marine that was killed, and his family built Camp
Oh,
Hope
in that one.
in his memory, and two of the Marines that were with him, there were 3 of them killed.
Oh,
It's very nice. It's a
Very
very nice facility.
So we will be going out there and with a donation, and hopefully we're going to get some of the men from our Legion to go
Legionnaires.
this time. We've talked to a few of them and our commander, and I think they're going to go with us. And also in October, on the 16th, we go to the Cape Veterans Home, and we serve donuts and coffee to the men down there. And there was a couple women down there too. But we do this every fall, and then in the spring of the year, we go back again and we play bingo with the residents. So twice a year we go down there. Coming up in December, we'll have our meeting. We have our meetings on the second Monday of every month, the same time as the men do, and the women are also invited to partake of the free lunch that they have. And we've been getting, this past week, we had, what, 15?
15.
We had 15 ladies. So we're hoping we get a pretty good turnout to help us go down to Cape and down to Camp Hope. But in December, we'll have our Christmas party, and this year we're going to have a $5 gift exchange for anyone that wants to come. So we will be telling them again in November to remember that, you know, if they want to participate, they can bring a gift. But another thing we do is we send 2 girls to Girl State every year. We've been doing this since I went to Girl State. Yes.
and not just a little while ago.
Last
A
year.
little. Yeah, it's been a little while. Yeah. And then in the spring of the year, usually in June, we have our poppy drive. And this past year, I don't know why, but we did the second largest poppy drive since I have been president.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, yeah. So I was really, really thrilled. And people would tell us that they appreciate, you know, what all we do for the Legion. And that made me feel really good, because it's a lot of work to organize these things.
Any money that we make in our poppy distribution has to be paid on, you know, we can only spend it on programs for the veterans. We
That's
can
great.
spend it on Camp Hope. We can spend it on the Cape Veterans Home. We can spend it on the USO. We can't spend it on, you know, the other stuff. It has to go to the veterans program, and our poppies are made by veterans.
Isn't that great?
And that's the only fundraiser we do, is poppies. So we rely heavily on our community to help us raise the money to do this.
So instead of putting the buck in, put 5.
We've had a few fives.
We've had
I bet you
5s,
have,
10s,
yeah.
and 20s. People
Now-
have been very generous.
On that note, I rode up on the bus, or the van, to see my husband in the hospital, and one of the veterans from down St. Mary's was there. And he was saying that he wishes people would come down there and visit. They only do it once a year. And he said it's so nice to have them come and play bingo with us or play cards with us. So that might be something you could add to
Most
your...
definitely.
We used to.
Yeah.
Oh, you used to.
We used to do a
Okay.
wiener roast.
Oh,
Yes, up until a couple years ago, and for some reason, there was something that came up and we didn't do it, and we just kind of let it slide.
oh, okay.
But now that we have more members,
Yeah, and we do bring them up for a Thanksgiving meal.
Yes,
We
he said
do.
that. He said we
Mhm.
get a meal at Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
but he said it's so nice to have people around us other times.
Right.
Where it's not just
Right.
us down there.
well, we're going to have
So I
to,
said, well, I'll
We'll
pass
have
that
to
on
do
to
that
everybody I
because-
see that can come down there.
now that
So-
we, for a while there, for maybe a couple years, we had maybe 5 or 6 ladies, and, you know, you just can't do a whole
Yeah, a
lot
lot
when you
with-
just
yeah.
don't get a lot of participation.
Right.
But now that we're getting some younger women coming to the meeting, maybe we'll get a few more to help us do these things. And, you know, naturally, they give us new ideas
Right.
and more input. So hopefully, we can continue and maybe do that. Is there anything else we've missed?
I don't think so.
But we sure appreciate the community in our Poppy Drive, because like I said, this is the only fundraiser we have so far.
And St. Genevieve is so supportive of every collection
They
that
are,
goes around.
they're very
I mean,
supportive.
anytime people need something, people reach out for them.
Right,
So we
right.
have a great community here.
And while I'm talking about poppies, this was in our Legionnaire paper, Legionette paper. The poppy symbolism, the 4 petals represent the dedication, sacrifice, responsibility, and compassion. The red petals stand for the vast outpouring of blood. The black, the mud and desolation of all our battlefields. The green of the stem and foliage is symbolic of the forests, meadows, and fields where generations of Americans have perished to make this land free. The stem represents the courage and determination of our fallen warriors, and the assembled flower is a symbol of resurrection, which is sure to follow.
That's neat.
Yeah, that is. And this is, I don't know, if this may have been put in our newsletter more often, but it just, some reason or another, just stuck out to me. I tore it out and I thought, I'm going to take this to our next meeting and read this for the ladies, because you know, you see it, but you don't really know how it came about or what it represents.
Right. And the same with the folding of the flag.
Yes.
That one that went through Facebook.
Mhm.
That, you
It
know, most
explains the
people
fold.
don't know why
Why
they
it's
do that
folded,
or how
the
they
way it
fold
is.
it and why they fold it.
That's right.
Mhm.
I thought that was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that there's membership applications at the Legion Hall at all the times, and they can be turned in there. To be a member of the American Legion Auxiliary, you have to join under someone, you know, who has served in one of the wars or during the war period. And, of course, from the Gulf War on forward, you know, since 9/11, that's all time covered. But the applications are there, and we're ready to sign them up.
Okay,
We're
well,
always-
hopefully you'll get a lot.
We're always looking for new members.
Always looking for new
And if
members.
anybody out there listening's got any questions for any of these people, you can call 883-7576, and they will answer your question.
American Legion Riders are always looking for new members also.
If I could ride, I would join.
Even if you got a scooter, as long as you got 2 wheels, 3 wheels.
Scooter works.
A lot of them are going to the 3 wheels.
What
That's
what
right.
is your number? Do you know how many?
We're in the 20, well,
Yeah.
I don't know, we just had membership, but we haven't heard back yet.
I think it's in the 20s.
It's in the
That's
20s.
good.
It's, yeah,
It's growing.
it's good, but we need really good active members,
Yes.
Yes.
as every
And
organization.
we are just thrilled at the turnouts we're getting at our meeting. We had 289 members, but we're gonna shortly start, we're starting getting our members for 2018, so we're hoping to top our 289 from 2017.
Each year they give us a goal,
Oh,
a
okay.
few more
Yeah.
than what we have.
Get a few more.
When are membership dues due?
They should be in the mail to you now.
Okay, that's what
I
thought.
was
Yes,
told the middle of
September.
September they will be mailed out. And anyone that you know of that's interested, if they can't get to the hall to pick up a application, they can call me or call the hall and they have my number.
Right.
I keep one of these in my purse,
I do too.
yeah. Because people ask me, how can I join? Whip this out right away. Yeah.
Be prepared.
And on this brochure, it also has for the men too, the Legion, the Sons of the Legion, and the Auxiliary. But sorry, it doesn't have.
No riders, huh?
No,
No
they
riders
don't
on
have
it.
a riders.
You can
But-
pencil it in.
Yeah, yeah, we can refer them to
Mhm.
you all. Yeah. But we're always looking for new members.
Okay. So anybody else got any more, or you want to reiterate a little bit before we close? Give them the dates and the times and whatever?
Anybody wanting to be on an overpass this Saturday, we are recommending they be out there by 8:30. The motorcycles should start coming through the county, north part of the county, probably around 9 o'clock. So if they try to get there by 8:30, be in position, be ready to go, and,
We're going to try to stay on schedule up at Arnold. The kickstand's up, that means we're rolling at 8:30.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I do have one other information about that in Perryville. The Perryville Post will be serving a meal afterwards because they thought the restaurants would be
overwhelmed.
overwhelmed. It is $9, but they always have a delicious buffet at Perryville Post.
Yeah.
So that will be available after the ceremony.
And I understand that the land was bought,
Was donated.
was donated.
Donated.
Yes.
Donated.
There was a wealthy man that was down there
A
and
Vietnam
he,
veteran.
yes, and he passed away, and it was his wishes that it would be something for the community.
Right. And that's why they're beginning, the initial is going to be the Vietnam Wall. Eventually, it will honor
It will.
all veterans.
And in the future, they plan on putting a Veterans Memorial Cemetery.
Wow.
Oh, really?
How many
Yes.
acres do they actually have?
They
down
started
there?
out with 30, I think they've got more than that now.
Oh, my
Wow.
goodness. Isn't that
30
great?
38 acres were donated, but I think they acquired more.
I know the
So
family
it's
was
growing.
big in the service, and that's why they decided on doing this.
Yes.
So that's great. I mean.
That is, and
that's-
we wouldn't have what we have if it hadn't been for all the veterans, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
They're progressing very quickly on it down there. They've got a lot of concrete poured, a lot of foundation poured. They even got one building going up.
Wow.
So they're
Yeah,
really-
they have grown so much in Perryville. It's
Oh, yeah.
unreal.
It's the AC is the new cutoff highway from 51 to 61.
Mhm. It's going to put
Yes,
Perryville
they are.
on the map.
Yes, they
They're going to
will.
have a lot of visitors.
Yes, they will.
There's a lot of veterans can't make it to Washington DC.
Right.
Now they can could be right in their community.
Yes. Right in our backyard.
For most, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. And Carolyn, you want to retell the dates for?
No, I'm in veteran mode.
That was our intent.
My husband was a Vietnam veteran, and he's a member of the Legion.
And actually, Carolyn does a lot of work with World War II vets.
Yeah, World War II vet group that I'm trying to keep going. Yeah.
You can tell about that if you want. We got
Oh,
plenty of
no.
time.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
There's not too many World War II vets left.
No.
No.
No, they're all in their 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And,
My dad would have been, or
Yeah,
was a World War II vet.
yeah, believe it or not, they're still having reunions.
Yeah.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
a dozen of them come to, this is a infantry unit.
Oh.
division, infantry division that fought in World War II in the Pacific.
Oh, wow.
And they still have, they're still going,
Wonderful.
you know, still want to get together and,
And that's so good for them.
yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
We're putting up a monument in the next couple of months down at Fort Benning at the School of the Infantry in Georgia. Just trying to, we got our half of the money raised, and now the other half is in the process, and they've got the foundation put in, and I'm getting excited.
Wow,
That's great.
that's
Yeah.
great.
A lot of this stuff's a long time coming for the World War
Yes.
II guys.
Oh,
Yes, it
yes.
is.
But this particular
Good
one
heavens.
honors the whole division from World War One on out to the fellows that are fighting the global war on terror. So it's a long, 100-year history
Yes.
of that unit, yeah.
Wow,
So, yeah, no, support the veterans, yay. Yeah,
For sure.
that's great.
for sure.
Okay, well, we have a short show tonight, so we thank everybody for listening, and we thank you guys for being on.
Thank you for allowing us.
Thank you for
Anytime you
allowing us
have
to
something to say, give us a call. We're always
Yeah.
happy to pass information on about St. Genevieve. That's what we're here for. We've been here several years, so it doesn't seem possible, but it's, well, now, Mary Ann's
Yeah,
waiting to get well enough to come back, and now then, hopefully Mary Ann will feel better after tonight. Hopefully I stay healthy.
Yes,
That's right.
yeah, you better stay healthy.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this, Iris.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
anyway,
Yeah.
you tell all the people out there listening, tell them goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, Charlie, we're gone.